Friday, February 9th. Further thought. Read Ellen G. White, The Beatitudes, pages 6 to 13 and 29 to 35, in Thoughts from the Mount of Blessing. You can find it online. A link to the chapter is in the description below if you watch this video directly from YouTube.
The Psalms are protests against human indifference to injustice. They are a refusal to accept evil. They are motivated not by a desire for revenge, but by a zeal to glorify God's name. Hence, it is fitting for the righteous to rejoice when they shall see God's vengeance on evil, because in this way, God's name and his justice are restored in the world. Psalm 58, verses 10 and 11. The Psalms oblige people to raise their voices against evil and to seek the coming of God's kingdom in its fullness. In the Psalms, we are given assurance of divine comfort and deliverance. The Lord will arise. When men shall revile you and persecute you, said Jesus, rejoice and be exceeding glad. And he pointed his hearers to the prophets who had spoken in the name of the Lord as an example of suffering affliction and of patience. James 5:10. Abel, the very first Christian of Adam's children, died a martyr. Enoch walked with God, and the world knew him not. Noah was mocked as a fanatic and an alarmist. Others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. Others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. Hebrews 11:35 and 36. Ellen G. White, Thoughts from the Mount of Blessing, page 33. Discussion questions. 1. Because the painful realization of the evil in the world can cause one to wonder whether the Lord actually reigns, how can we grow an unshakable faith that will stand strong even under temptation? That is, what must we focus on in order to maintain our faith in God's love and goodness and power?
Having to engage with atheists on an active level, this is where I have come to understand the importance of the Sabbath and why I'm a firm believer that the mark of the beast and the final test will be about the Sabbath. You see, the answer to this question for me is in the fact that God is the creator of the universe. How so? Allow me to explain. It is either this world was created or the evolution theory or the Big Bang theory is true. There is no way under the heavens that nature just evolved or came about by accident. Think about any of our biological systems, whether the digestive system, the endocrine system, the circulatory system, where we have this perfect symbiosis with plants, how we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, and the plants do the reverse. There has to be a creator. This was designed. With that settled, for God to have created this amazing universe, then surely he knows what he is doing. Anyone who can speak the world into existence knows what he is doing. If he can create me and you, then I can trust his wisdom. And that is the answer. I don't have to understand everything, but trust that ultimate wisdom knows exactly what he is doing, and that he has a plan for me to vacation in heaven with him for 1,000 years, where everything will be revealed. So, with all the evil and injustices in the world, especially with starving and suffering children, one often will wonder if there is indeed a God. But nature answers the question, and I trust his wisdom.
What should the cross say to us about God and his character?
The cross reveals two extremes of God. One, he does not compromise with sin. It has to be ultimately punished. He wouldn't even spare his own son for that. Two, his love and mercy know no bound. Christ died not just as the ultimate punishment for my sins, but also as the ultimate source of forgiveness for my sins. Amazing.
2. Why is it important not to rely on human means, leaders, institutions, and social movements as the ultimate wisdom and solution for justice in the world, but rely solely on God's word and judgment?
The word ultimate destroys this question, making it invalid. Certainly to me. Who in his right mind could look to any human government or agency as a means of ultimate wisdom? Mankind is ultimate stupidity, if you ask me. Take, for example, God telling us that he puts before us life and death. But we are so stupid that he has to go further and beg us, as it were, to choose life. You can never use the words ultimate and wisdom in a logical statement to me regarding humanity. So no, I could never look to humans for any ultimate wisdom for any problem at all.
3. What are the practical implications of the truth that the sanctuary is the place of divine judgment?
Honestly, it means absolutely nothing to me. It wouldn't matter to me if God executes judgment from his sanctuary, from the planet Mars, or from my bedroom. It makes no difference. What matters to me is just the fact that there is a judgment. If God judges me fit for heaven or for destruction, I promise you, I would not be celebrating or crying about where it was done from. Sorry. It may have some theological significance, but in the end, no practical difference for me. It is just quite informative for me to see the role that the sanctuary plays in the judgment.
4. How can we understand the harsh language of some psalms? How does that language help us relate to the humanity of those who wrote them?
I smiled again because I don't want to seem arrogant, but this seems another almost silly question. It's obvious I can understand the harsh language of the Psalms because I am human. And the psalmists use the harsh language because they are human. Sorry, I cannot think of another answer.